Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nubraids, and today I want to give you a quick guide on Stag, one of the best epic champions in the game. He's just received his brand new Gilded Glider skin. The second tournament to earn that skin is actually up right now. So some of you might have this already or about to get it. I think there's a third tournament coming as well, part of this JonTron promotion. Plus we just had a guaranteed event as well for Stag fairly recently too. So yeah, let's dive in. Let's look at this champion and what we can do with him. When I started playing the game, it used to be said about Stag that he is a legendary champion masquerading as an epic, right, in an epic skin. Not quite true in the game anymore. Legendaries, there's been a bit of power creep, it's not quite true. But he's certainly better than some of the older, worse legendaries, no question. And definitely he is a top tier epic that remains relevant. In fact, I still use him in some of my teams today. End game, he is still in there, which is just incredible. There's very few champions that actually can make that claim, which is very impressive. How does he work? Very simple. His A1 double hitter. Each hit has a 30 booking up to 50% chance to put decreased speed for 2 turns. We're going to increase that with Masteries to 255% chances. Decreased speed, very useful debuff, and the double hitter is nice. Then Huntmaster is A2 is an AoE with 70 booking to 95%. Hence why we really want that Mastery to increase it to 100% to place decreased defense and decreased attack for 2 turns. This is a nice short cooldown. He's attacking every single turn, so he's going to put out some pretty decent damage. And look, these are 3 of the best debuffs in the game and 3 of the most generally useful debuffs in the game, basically in every single type of content, which is incredible. Even as a passive that gives increased accuracy to an ally each time they have a debuff resisted by an enemy. This is kind of small. You're probably not going to build around this, but you will notice it. For example, probably on Doom Tower bosses is where you'll see this come into play the most, where you might not have enough accuracy in some of your champions for those bosses because they need a lot. He's going to help out, which is pretty nice. So there you go. Blessings, by the way, we'll mention this while we're here. I think there's 2 main blessings you would probably go for. Cruelty would be number 1, which is very useful for just general purpose. And if you don't have anyone with cruelty, it's going to give him a bit more damage, which is nice. He does scale off of attack. It's also going to permanently decrease enemies' defense when you hit them. And seeing as he's pumping out AoEs and attacking every turn, like we said, he's going to stack it up reasonably quickly. So he's a good candidate for cruelty. Phantom Touch is going to be a bit better for more endgame Fire Knight hard type stuff. Phantom Touch, the extra hit, will help take down the Fire Knight shield. It's going to help do extra damage to Fire Knight. I'm actually running him with Newt, a very recent fusion, and Cruelty and Newt don't stack together. So his main use for me is Fire Knight hard with Newt. So I don't actually need him running Cruelty for Fire Knight hard. So I switched him over to the Phantom Touch. So there you go. In terms of how do we build Stag there's actually a lot of ways you can build this champion, and it's actually very easy to build this champion. I would say the main thing I'd be trying to do, if you look at his base stats, okay, he's got incredibly high base HP, and he's got okay defense, brilliant speed. The main things that he needs are going to be speed and accuracy. I tossed up my little notepad here. These would be my rough rule of thumb. These are the first stats that you want. I would say if you're doing normal content, so we're talking about dungeons, stage 20 to 25 even, 225 accuracy is the most that you need. This is the same for normal Doom Tower. This would probably be almost the same for normal, maybe even hard Hydra, though I might want to crank his speed higher for Hydra. But you're looking for roughly 200 plus speed. You want him to be faster than your nukers, but decent speed helps. Honestly, the more speed you get, the better. I'd personally probably be aiming for at least 220, but it depends where you're at the game. 200 is something to aim for. When you're moving into hard dungeons, hard Doom Tower, you're more looking for 345 accuracy. That would even take you up into brutal Hydra, really, and 250 speed, which again would take you probably sort of up to brutal Hydra. You can maybe even make do with this stats. You could make him do a Nightmare Hydra even if you wanted. He'd just be a little bit inconsistent. So yeah, these are pretty solid things to aim for. On top of that, I like giving him crit rate. I think, again, to make his gearing really easy, he's not going to be the biggest damage dealer in the world with this base attack, so we don't need to worry too much. Crit rate gloves make it nice and easy to grab then speed substats, accuracy substats, and to crank those things up. And you can see if I flick through his gear, he's in very basic gear. We haven't even glyphed a lot of it up much at all. Very basic, very simple. Speed boots, like I said, crit rate gloves. You can also go for crit damage gloves. Something you can definitely do because he's got very high base HP, and this could be great early game. A shield set, or there is currently the Forge Pass. So if if you're a spender and you did buy him guaranteed, and you're buying the Forge Pass bolster set, really good as well. 30% HP ally shield for 3 turns from both shield and bolster. The bolster one's protected, means it can't be removed by buff strips. That's really strong in this champion because he's got such high base HP. Then you might be wanting to get HP percentage chest and HP percentage gloves. I'd say, super min-maxed endgame, probably crit damage gloves with an attack percent chest. I'm not even bothered with that. It doesn't make that much of a difference to the runs, to be honest, so I don't really care. I'm saving my better gear for champions that matters more. For his ring, flat attack is good, HP is good, anything you've got, crit damage on the neck probably, and then accuracy or attack banner depending on where you use him. So for example, we could switch him in. Let's see, do we have a spare? Let's see, do we have an attack ring? That'd be pretty cool. Mostly rolled up. This one's mostly rolled up. We'd lose a bit of HP. Do we have one with... I'd love a ring with HP percent and attack percent. That ring rolled really badly, unfortunately. This one looks pretty good. It's got all of those nice substats that I want to see. Fingers crossed it's not flat HP. Yeah, you know what? That looks okay. We'll grab that. I'm going to roll it up. There's Artifact Enhancement on right now, so we're going to be a little bit cheeky. Let's throw it on. Get an extra bit of damage. He's going to lose some health, but we don't really mind. He's going to hit a bit harder. That Phantom Touch is going to hit harder. For his Masteries, again, there's quite a lot of things that you can do here to mix it up. I would say... In fact, let's actually redo them slightly, I think. Yeah, let's redo them slightly. So, for more of endgame sort of stuff, I'd actually be coming over here getting him Heart of Glory. Then I'd be getting him Accuracy. More accuracy when he's no skill on cooldown. That's going to really help land that, just if you are slightly low on the accuracy. His most important thing is his A2. It's going to boost that up. We can give him, let's give him more accuracy for enemies alive, and we'll give him some extra turn meter, more damage to targets with less HP. We'll just go down basically the whole left-hand side of this offense tree, grab him War Master, and then we'll come over here. We'll get him a bit of turn meter pushback, gonna be really nice for some Fire Knight stuff. And then very, very important, Master Hexer is really nice, chance to extend his debuffs. Sniper is essential. This is perhaps the most important mastery for this champion. Makes the decreased speed more consistent, but most importantly, makes decrease attack, decrease defense 100%, which is huge. So let's go. I think first things first, let's throw him in. I saved my last key here today. Let's throw him into a little old faction crypt. So this is, my actual faction crypt that I run, and he is sort of an MVP still for this team. I just have him be the fastest on the team. We got a little bit unlucky. One of the decreased defenses missed. But as you can see, we're running 3 damage dealers, Ursula the Mourner, and Stag Knight. And that decreased defense Stag Knight puts out, it helps us easily one-shot the wave. He's going to be getting back to it very consistently. We actually do have decreased attack from Ursula here, which is going to help us survive. But if you didn't have Ursula, the decreased attack he's going to provide is going to really help as well. You can see he's getting a bit of damage there from Phantom Touch. His hits are nothing crazy, but they add up. If we wanted this to actually go faster, we could target the main... In fact, let's do that. Let's target the main boss. We are able to survive the hits from these enemies because of decreased attack. Now, he didn't actually place it this time. Ursula did. You could have him, you could manual it if you wanted, but you get the gist, right? The importance of decreased attack, decreased defense. We're going to lose one person. That's fine. Ursula revives. And bada bing, bada boom. We're away. So not going to be our fastest clear of this crypt right here. The fastest clear is if I target the boss straight away. And it's just if everything lines up just right in the waves. But still, this should be about 1 minute on it. We're actually going to use Rhonda again. She was a login legendary. A few of you might have. And there's a decent chance they could do maybe promotions and stuff for that in the future. We'll use Rhonda again in some sort of earlier game arena. In fact, let's do that. Let's throw her in. Let's build an early game arena team. Let's go against this guy first. He's got an Arbiter, so let's ditch all of these. We'll throw in... Yeah, we're going to bring in Rhonda as our damage. She also has Phantom Touch, by the way. Same sort of thing for Fire Knight Hard. That kind of deal. Let's bring in Arbiter. Let's bring in Stag Knight. It wouldn't really work if we didn't have a Stag Knight, would it? And then, let me see. How fast is my... here we go. How fast is Apothecary? He's level 48. 270 speed. He's a little bit slow, but maybe he's quick enough. Hang on. Do we have like an epic speed booster geared up? Oh, maybe not. It's looking a bit, it is looking a little sparse here. That's okay. Yeah. Wait, how fast is Doom Screech? That could be fun. He's only slightly faster. Let's go. This is the super early game team. So we'll go in, super early game sort of idea, give you a gist. Pretty much the weakness of this team, if we don't go first, we're going to be in trouble. We do go first. Now we'll see. He might cut in. No, he didn't. Luckily, we're enough ahead. We're going to speed boost. Going to land in that decrease attack, decrease defense. And you can see Rhonda with her A1 is actually cut in. And bam, he is starting to snipe us down. It is hurting a little bit, but we are, broadly speaking, mostly surviving, which is good. Stag Knight actually survived that hit, which is kind of crazy. Let's actually heal him up. There we go. And yeah, let's see what we can do. Rhonda actually might die here now I look at it. Oh, let's see. Great. She's going to in your corner, procking like crazy. What can we say? Helping to take him out. A little bit extra damage out there. That decreased speed is going to help us again, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we want to see. Now let's just click full auto. Start targeting this guy down. Here we are. Decrease attack is going to help reduce the damage of this Mountain King a lot. And pretty much any early game damage dealers you're going to be fighting are nearly always going to be attack based. So it's really going to help. You know, we're actually having a lot of trouble killing this Mountain King with this Vogoth. So let's actually just kill the Vogoth first of all. Here we go. Oh, in your corner procs again. Rhonda will go in with her A2 to claim the victory. And there you go. Gives you an idea. Let's do one more, but leave it on. Yeah. Restore. Let's leave it on full auto this time. You get the gist of how the team works. Simple, straightforward. Decrease attack helps you survive. Decrease defense leaves them squishy, leaves them vulnerable, and kaboom. It's you know the simple. Oh, it's not over yet. Don't count your chickens yet. Oh dear, this actually could be kind of bad, boys. This could be kind of bad. Is he going to get provoked? He's not. Oh, we might die. No, saved by polymorph, no less. We actually would have survived right there. The decrease attack did enough. You could see that we had enough health on people that we weren't going to go down, which is nice. But yeah, gives you a concept. She just flopped over dead. That looked a bit weird. Gives you a concept for how she works in that sort of early game. So there you go. That is a quick little look at him in PvP. Not his best area, but he's fine. So for example, you know, a nice early game champ other people would use if you pulled her, if you're lucky enough. Madame Ceres from Void Shards has decreased attack, decreased defense, but also strips all buffs. So she is sort of like a better version of Stag Knight for Arena, really, because of that buff strip. But for dungeons and things, it's not so important. Let me show you like a more late game dungeon. In fact, we're doing super raids. I'm just farming stage 6 of Fire Knight hard because it's a little bit easier. We're coming in here with this composition. And basically, this is a composition that really works very well because of Newt. Newt with his A1, which places freeze, is the only way to push back the turn meter of Fire Knight on hard difficulty. I'll show you a normal Fire Knight run as well. I'll show you the hard Fire Knight run first, just to show you, like, this is literally my team. This is my end game team I run. This is the Stag Knight. I might not look like him initially because he's in that gilded glider skin. You might not be used to seeing it, or maybe you just picked him up and you are. But this is the only way you've ever known Stag Knight. But yeah, he's really, really nice for this. So what's he doing? Well, again, against these waves, he's putting out the decreased attack. He's putting out the decreased defense. It's helping us, number one, kill the waves quickly. You can see his A1 actually doing pretty decent damage, helping to finish off some of these champs. But yeah, he's doing decent damage, helping us kill the waves. Reducing the damage they do to us so they're not going to kill us and we can get through to the boss nice and safe and steady. Finishes off that enemy with his A1. Then when we get to the boss, we've got Farrakhan the Fat for ally attacks. And he's got a double hitter A1. It's not the best. Like Cold Heart's got a 4-hitter. That's even better, obviously. But the double hitter's pretty nice. And there he goes in with the ally attack. He's actually landed decreased speed off of that A1. And that makes this nice and simple. Newt's gone in and like the Fire Knight, he's already down to 0% turn meter. We get the decreased attack, decreased defense. The beautiful thing about this is even if this goes wrong and decreased speed gets resisted, Newt, his A1, it all gets resisted. Like you're unbelievably unlucky and unbelievably lucky if you're the Fire Knight, that is. And it gets resisted and he does somehow get a turn, right? It doesn't really matter. We're actually going to be tanky enough thanks to Stag Knight putting decrease attack, that will probably survive and we still have a chance to actually kill the boss, which is kind of nuts. But as you can see, this is usually roughly about a 2-minute team. We're a little bit slow here because I'm recording. No, we're not. Actually, we're pretty much bang on. There we go. Yeah, pretty much bang on. 2 minutes, 1 second. Best was 1 minute, 44 seconds. And you can see in terms of the damage output, Stag Knight, you saw the build. He is not really built for any damage. Like, he's built for a little bit of damage. A little bit. He's not in crazy damage gear. He is doing about half of what Newt's doing. He's doing slightly more than half of what a Cold Heart is doing. And they are definitely built for damage, you know? It's kind of impressive, that little bit that he adds on. It's quite nice. So yeah, it's sort of a subtle bit of damage, but it's, you know, it's solid enough. And it's easy to get without crazy gear either. You know, the blessing makes a big difference. That flat attack from the blessing, the flat attack from the ring definitely upped his damage. And yeah, just, you know, you don't need to stress out. Again, you could min-max him if you wanted. You could go harder, but it's not necessary. I'll be right back in 1 second. Let's jump over to normal, where the nice thing about Stag Knight is stage 20. Normal Fire Knight is probably where you're going to farm for quite a lot in the early game, and Stag Knight is the correct affinity, and that's absolutely huge. That makes a big difference. Let me throw together a more budget early game team, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's go. I did a little test run of this team. It does look like Wave 2 could get a little bit dicey. We'll see that when we get here. The problem we have is that we're actually a little too strong. We kill Wave 1 too quick, which means that we're not going to get back to our cooldowns quick enough for Wave 2. We're going to get a little bit blasted, but that's sort of okay. Hey, you can actually see his passive kick in. We got increased accuracy and Cold Heart. That's kind of nice. But yeah, here we are. This is stage 20 of Fire Knight Hard. Like I said, one of those areas you're probably going to farm. Look, it's actually worked reasonably well. We're ripping through, honestly. We've got epics and rares here. So we've got that level 48 Apothecary coming in again. We've got Cold Heart in again. Then we have Royal Guard. And we have Magnar. I'll be honest with you, like, it's very difficult for me to properly simulate without a lot of effort a more early game team to strip gear off, and I can't strip awakenings off champions. It's simply not possible. But hey, hopefully you'll give it to me that we're using a level 48 on Apothecary. But as you see, this is how the team works. They're actually ripping through this very, very quickly. But the team works just the same if you do it slower. It's not a huge deal. How does it work? What is the concept? That's actually, in terms of turns, one of my faster teams for doing this. Very simple. Stag Knight puts decreased defense and decreased attack on the waves. Then we have an AoE damage dealer, in this case Magnar. He is 5-star, to be fair, awakened. But Magnar blows them up. He blows them up. When we get to the boss, Stag Knight, he's decreased defense, decreased attack on the boss. And the A1, double hitter with decreased speed. Brilliant. Royal Guard is there to help us kill the boss. Cold Heart is to help kill the boss. They also do a bit of damage on the waves. Apothecary is giving us increased speed, healing. You could put Seal of the Drakes in for a revive if you're slower. That can totally work fine, etc. You can really mix it up, but this is sort of a nice, pretty accessible team for early game Fire Knight. And yeah, Stag Knight, he's kind of like an MVP of this stage. He is just super nice for making it more survivable, which is kind of tough. Force affinity can be kind of tough, and yeah, he's a great champ. So there you go, guys. And you probably saw we got hit a few times. You throw him into a shield set and suddenly you're not worried about that anymore at all, right? Not worried. So simple enough. Stag Knight, he's kind of awesome. He's kind of badass. Absolutely brilliant champion. S tier epic, almost said legendary. Freudian slip, but S tier epic through and through. Like I said, I still use him. Can't give a bigger compliment than that. An epic that is actually used when I've got legendaries for days, right? Brilliant. Stag Knight, hope you guys enjoyed, found it helpful. Yeah, there you go. That should do you solid. Like I said, he can be totally used in pretty much all these other areas. Like he's great for Iron Twins Fortress because he brings decreased speed. That's very helpful for that boss. Great for Hydra as a beginner. Phantom Shoguns, like beginner. Obviously, any of the potion keeps, all of that stuff. Just solid MVP. One of the best in the game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. The only thing I dislike about this skin is that the cloak on the base skin looks so much better. This is an S tier, S plus tier cloak. This cloak is so good. I do love this skin a lot. The cloak's not as good. Like, it's fine. It's not as good. Not as good. I'll see y'all next time, everyone. Goodbye.